On today's episode of The Front Row, we are at Lubbock Christian University in the office of Dr. Laurie Doyle, who is the chair of the Fine Arts Department here at LCU. Dr. Doyle, welcome to The Front Row. It's great to be with you.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Well, the semester has started, and lots of things are in play, and Lubbock Christian University is putting on one of its first musicals. Tell us about it.
We opted to do Little Shop of Horrors this year. Such a great fun show. We did it here somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 years ago and enjoyed it then. And we did it in our little bitty theater that year because our auditorium was under renovation. But this time we're being able to do it in the large auditorium. So we hope we'll have lots of people come and see it. It's such a fun show and kind of appropriate to be around Halloween month.
So for folks who don't know the story of Little Shop of Horrors, give us a little synopsis.
All right. We meet a young man named Seymour who is an orphan who was taken in by a flower shop owner when he was a child. And he works in this flower shop. He has a co-worker named Audrey, and he has fallen madly in love with her. The owner of the flower shop is about to shut it down because they're on Skid Row. They have no customers and therefore no income. Well, Seymour brings out an exotic plant that no one can identify. And as the show goes on, this plant grows. It's a puppet, and it grows from very small to extremely huge. And as the story progresses, we find out that the plant will only eat blood or humans and promises to make Seymour a rich and famous man if he will feed the plant. Seymour gives in to his baser instincts and at first gives his own blood to the plant. But as the plant grows, that's not enough. And so he ends up feeding a couple of people to the plant and does become rich and famous. And Audrey falls in love with him then. But as the show draws to a close, he discovers that that's the plant's plan for world domination, that every city and many homes will have little plants, and eventually they will grow and eat mankind. So it's very much like the B movies from the 1950s and 60s, where you have the creatures from outer space, and you've got creatures from the sea, and you've got all of those monsters that mankind must face. And that's what Little Shop of Horrors is about in a nutshell.
All right. As you said, good for Halloween. Right?
Exactly.
Well, good. Well, are you directing the play?
Yes, I'm the stage director.
All right. Well, when did you decide you wanted to do Little Shop of Horrors?
Last spring. We always cast our fall musicals in April because we want at least the leads to have their script and music to go home for the summer and work on it. Because we're only a little less than 6 weeks into the semester when this show is produced. So we've got to work fast, and it helps if some of the students come back prepared.
Yeah. Is this a collaboration with art or theater or anything like that? I mean, you're using the resources of the auditorium, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, this is produced by the theater area, which is part of our department, the
Gotcha.
Visual and Performing Arts.
Gotcha.
So our department is art, music, and theater. So yes, we all collaborate. Our staff accompanist, Ann Van Collins, has been working with the students on the music. Our director of bands, Dr. Lisa Tatum, will conduct the small ensemble. And anyway, we all love working together. We collaborate very well, and I think it's going to be a fun show.
Good. Tell us the times and dates.
We'll perform for the public on Saturday, this coming Saturday and Sunday. That's October 12 and 13 at 7:30 p.m. You can get tickets online at lcu.edu/tickets, or at the door. We have a large auditorium, so there will be plenty of seats. I know we've got several area schools that are bringing students to see it, and so I'm very excited about that. But I hope we have a lot of community people too.
Great, excellent. Tell us a little bit about your cast.
Well, we have open auditions at LCU, so any student can audition and participate. I do have several freshmen this year, and they are quite good, so I'm hoping to use them a lot over the next few years. Seymour's played by Philip Guite. He's actually a major in the School of Business, and he's playing Seymour. And then our Audrey is Miriam Keller, and she is a true freshman. The plant is being sung by Nelson Hudson, who's a senior here at LCU and doing a great job with that voice. And then I have a freshman being the puppeteer, and he is really working, I'm telling you. So the plants we rented, we had to decide whether we would build them ourselves or rent them. The last time we did the show, we did build them, and we rented them out to some schools. But we decided this time we were going to look into that. And a gentleman from Kilgore actually contacted us and said, I have built these plants and I want to rent them to you. So he drove them from Kilgore to here and spent the day with us Saturday before last and helped us understand how they work. His are very complicated, but they're pretty neat and pretty amazing to see. And then he spent some time talking to the students about his journey. He was an Imagineer at Disney. He did every job available at Knott's Berry Farm. He's always wanted to be creative, and he's wanted to be creative in theater. He did some movie acting. He's done a lot of things. But he spent some time talking to the students about how God has changed his life. And we just thoroughly enjoyed getting to know him and to hear his story. So he'll come back in a couple of weeks and pick up the plants. And we've really enjoyed working with him. It's been a neat experience.
So that all fell into place, didn't it?
Yeah.
That was great. Yeah,
it really
exactly.
did. We had no idea.
How big a cast is it in total, do you think?
Oh, this one's a smaller cast, so it's around 16, I think is what we've got. You can do it with fewer than that, but I like to include students who are really interested in being on stage and working.
Yeah. Well, I think it's wonderful what you said, that some of your leads and other people are freshmen right out of high school, thrust into the lead role at a university. That's amazing.
Well, like I said, we have our first auditions in the spring. And so we had several girls audition for Audrey. I just didn't find one that I thought fit the role well enough. So I spent some time praying this summer that we would have a freshman that could fit the role. And luckily Miriam's doing a very fine job. But several of the other roles were filled by, juniors and seniors, people who've been here a while that you know and have worked with.
Right.
So,
well, while I have you, tell us just a little bit about the visual performing arts here at Lubbock Christian University. Tell us a little bit about the department that you head.
Well, it's it encompasses all the arts. Ronelle Howell runs our art area, and she is truly amazing. So we have 3 galleries on campus, and she keeps those full and running all the time. She is continually bringing in outside artists. There will be a show a week from today, next Monday, where a visual artist and a musician from off campus are going to perform and create together over in one of our small auditoriums. She's a wonderful teacher and just really keeps everything going here on campus. Then in theater, we have a theater degree or a theater education degree. And if you look around this area, a lot of the theater teachers are our alums because we can do a good job training teachers to get out and work in classrooms. And we feel like that's a great mission for for people to get into teaching and to help others create a love for the arts. We feel strongly about that. So the new teacher at the Talkington School for Girls is one of our alums. We've just got a lot in the area.
Yeah.
Then in music, we actually have 5 music degrees. Music ed, pre-music therapy, music business, and our newest one is a music worship ministry degree.
Right.
So we have 4 vocal ensembles and 3 bands, and the students come in, they get busy, and they really learn a lot while they're here.
Right. Well, it sounds like you have a well-oiled machine doing a lot of things. That's great.
Yeah,
Excellent.
We do a lot for the number of people we have on our faculty.
Well, and I was astonished just at the university as a whole when my daughter was particularly in elementary school. So many of her teachers were LCU graduates.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all really do a lot about teacher placement in
Yeah,
our
we
schools.
do.
You do a lot. That's
We
true.
do.
Yeah.
And every summer I'll have principals and superintendents contacting me saying, don't you have somebody who's graduating, because we want them to come teach for us. And sometimes I do, and sometimes they already all have jobs.
Well, that's good.
It is good. It's very good.
That's excellent. Well, Dr. Doyle, tell us again about the Little Shop of Horrors, times, dates, and how they can get tickets.
Yes. So we'll be performing Little Shop of Horrors on Saturday and Sunday, October 12 and 13, 7:30 p.m. in the McDonald Moody Auditorium on the LCU campus. And you can get tickets at lcu.edu/tickets or at the door, either one.
All right. Dr. Laurie Doyle is Director of the Visual and Performing Arts Department here at Lubbock Christian University. Dr. Doyle, thank you for being our guest on the show today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.